you have any of these symptoms, please report to a physician immediately. You might be infected with the Black Plague. The symptoms are painful swelling in the lymph nodes, which would appear on the armpits, legs, or neck, and groin areas. Marks that have first appeared as red dots but turned into black and purple dots. A high fever, vomiting, muscular pains, mental disorientation, or desire to sleep.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Gable News, where we inform you about the current events first. We just got breaking news that a 15-year-old girl has just been infected with the Black Plague. Now to Genna for more details.
Has taken over the health of yet another victim. This young girl has become ill due to the Yersinia pestis bacteria. We believe she has been bitten by the Exoncillus saposis, a common flea that is spreading this illness. This bacterium typically lives on mammals such as the common rat. Rats board boats from foreign countries during trade and bring the bacteria back to our homeland. On the journey home, the bacterium kills the rat itself and finds a new place to live on our people. Unfortunately, it is unknown to us how long this poor girl has been bitten. She already has experienced extreme headaches and a raising fever. Her lymph nodes in her armpits, legs, neck, and groin area are swollen. These symptoms are called buboes and can grow as large as an apple. They are so painful because the buboes are pushing against nerves. Also, she's developed a mark that is appearing to be turning into a dark purple color. This bacterium creates a deadly poison and invades the bloodstream, causing clogs and the blood vessels to burst. Death is often rapid. From this point, it takes only 1 to 4 days to completely kill its victim. This form of Black Plague that she is infected with is called bubonic because of its buboes formed from the bacteria getting in her bloodstream. There are also 2 other types of plaque called septicemic and pneumonic that will be explained in further investigations. Now back to you, Basil.
Thank you, Genna, for the very informational story. As Genna mentioned, there are 2 types of plagues from the bubonic. The septicemic plague is similar to the bubonic, and it also infects the bloodstream and makes the circular system collapse and the patient bleeds out internally. Death will occur within 24 to 36 hours and no buboes will form. The pneumonic plague infects the lungs and causes congestion and fluid buildup. You form a bloody cough, a high fever, and a fast pulse. Infected victims will drown in their own fluids, and death will occur within 48 hours of visual symptoms. Spreads by speaking, coughing, sneezing, and is the most contagious form of the plague. Now to Lauren for a report on what is being done with the dead bodies.
The plague has stolen the lives of about 2/3 of Europe's population. Originally, families wrapped the bodies and placed them on their doorstep for the city to pick them up. Many families described this sighting as their loved ones being carried away like heaps of rubbish. Bodies were also piled up inside and outside of city halls, where they would lie until mass graves could be dug. But they found that this method was causing the plague to spread, and people in the city swelled up with buboes, began vomiting, and death pulse increased dramatically. The dead bodies still contain the disease, and just a simple touch could spread it. The city has now decided to burn the remains to diminish the plague from the individuals. The odor roaming these streets is pretty disgusting. Death has become an everyday occurrence in Europe.
Thank you, Lauren. Elise is currently interviewing the public on how they are trying to prevent the plague from spreading.
Interviewing the Smith family. So how do you guys try to prevent getting sick?
My daughter has recently been infected, and we've heard that placing dried toads onto the boils because the toads are said to soak up any poison in the boils. Also, we've sliced the boils with a thin blade and released the evil vapors.
So I see your son here is wearing a bird-like mask. Does this have anything to do with the plague?
Yes, we use this to prevent him from getting infected with the disease.
Could you explain to me how the beak works?
The beak is filled with flowers and herbs so that he doesn't breathe in contaminated air.
Thank you for your time. Next, we're going to talk with Dr. Mack after a quick commercial break. Get your custom-made mask today. It comes in black, red, leopard print, and tie-dye. Only costs you 1 chicken. Get your mask to prevent the Black Plague today, before it's too late. Hot dog! Dr. Mack, thank you for speaking with us today.
You're very welcome. I'm here to help any way I can.
We're just here to ask which ways you treat people with the Black Plague.
I will normally go to their homes, and depending on how bad their condition is, I will treat them accordingly. Normally, I will pop the buboes, and I also recommend that everyone stays in their homes. If a loved one you're living with is sick, please evacuate. We don't have a cure for this illness, so we're trying everything we can to isolate our victims from other citizens.
Thank you so much for the advice. Back to you, Basil.
Thank you, Elise. Recently, kids throughout Europe have created a little nursery rhyme about the Black Plague. The lyrics go, ring around the rosy, pocket full of posy, ashes, ashes, we all fall down. Ring around the rosy refers to the rose-colored circular lesions that are on the plague victim's body. The pocket full of posy refers to the sweet-smelling flowers and herbs that the citizens stuff in their pockets, thinking that this method might help them prevent from getting sick. Ashes to ashes refers to the burning of the dead bodies, and lastly they say we all fall down in reference to the increasing death rate. This is a chilling nursery rhyme, if I do say so myself. But we just got news that Basil is also interviewing the families on the streets of London. Take it away. Thank you, Basil. Let's get your fellow over here. Hello, ma'am. Can I have a few of your minutes to answer some questions?
Yes, of course.
Please tell me, how are you dealing with such an awful disease?
My mother has gotten the Black Plague, and I'm deathly afraid she won't make it within the next 2 to 4 days. My family and I are taking shelter from the outside to prevent my children from getting sick.
What are your living conditions? Are you living in the upper class or the lower class?
I'm in the upper class, so the plague is highly unlikely to get to us. The plague is attacking the lower class massively.
How so? Reports have shown that both classes are equally adapted to this disease.
The lower class lives in filthy conditions with filthy people. No wonder they're getting sick so fast.
What have you been doing to prevent the plague from getting to you?
My family and I have been isolating ourselves inside for a good year or so. It is dangerous to go to the market just to get food, so I send my servants to do it.
So how are your servants doing?
One of my servants has recently passed, and the other 2 are infected currently.
I'm terribly sorry for how much you have to deal with.
Yes, but it could be worse.
Thank you so much for your time. Back to you, Basil. Welcome back to Gable News. We just got clips from Lauren's visit to a patient's house. Take it away, Lauren.
Let's go watch a doctor puncture a booble on a patient's neck.
Ugh. Wow. Well, that's the end of our channel for tonight. Stay inside and be clean. But before we go, please enjoy this song that is number 1 on our top 100 list.
Ring around the rosy, pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
That is it. Good night, folks.
If you have any of these symptoms, please seek a physician because you might be infected with the black. Frick. The frick. Discord.
Custom mask now comes in. I hate my life.
Lauren! How does Pete Petoniak do this every day? Like every day Pete Petoniak's up there talking about the weather and he doesn't laugh at all. Okay. Are you going?
No.